Happy Friday, guys. Today's a story time. We're going to do story time as I walk, okay? I'm actually slowly getting myself back up to where I used to be on the walks. My feet are a little bit better, but not up to full power yet. I still need new shoes. And real quick, for those of you that's new to my channel, from time to time I do a thing called story time. And the reason I do it is because my kids tell me, Dad, we've heard all your stories. We've heard it all, but you guys haven't. So I'll tell you guys, and hopefully you guys are right around my age, or even if you're close to my age, even if you don't have to be my age, you can relate to some of my stories I did when I was a kid. So here we go. This story takes place when I was a kid, about 10 or 11 years old. Takes place in Ohio. And my best friend at the time was named Steve. Him and I was the very best friends. We was even blood brothers. We did everything together. So one particular summer, school was out and we decided to get adventurous. But let me paint the picture for you real quick. Now, where we lived was allowed to ride our bikes in town of the daylight and daytime, but we was never allowed to go over the bridge. Now, see, over the bridge was all the nightlife and stuff. So where all the bars were and all the hangouts, and it was like a ton of people. And of course, our parents thought, over on the other side of the bridge was not suitable for all kids. The only time we ever really got to see anything happening over there, over the side of the bridge, was in the daytime, and we was usually in our parents' automobile. So we didn't know what the nightlife was like over there, but we heard stories, so our curiosity was high, right? So one night, I'm not sure what day it was, we got together and was like, hey Steve, maybe you'd be allowed to stay over the house overnight. Now you gotta remember, Steve lived with his grandma and his dad, and his grandma and his dad was very strict. So for him to stay at night at anybody's house, it would almost took an act of God for them to let him. And by some chance, they said okay. But before he left the house, his grandma was like, Stephen, I want you inside that house before it gets dark. I want you in bed before 9:30, and yeah. So Steve's like, okay, Grandma, I will. So Steve and I played outside, and we got inside the house like his grandma wanted before 9, and we went up to bed somewhere around 10. Then it happened. Okay, I'm on my last lap now. Sorry, I took a little gap in between so I get some laps in. So basically, we went upstairs, and then it hit us. And we're like, you know what? Let's sneak out, get on our bikes. Let's go over the bridge. Let's see what the nightlife is like over there. So we climbed out the window, mimiced our way down from the roof down to the porch, got our bikes, and we decided for protection, you're going to laugh at this, because we are going over in a supposed dangerous place, we would take our bicycle chain locks and put them around our neck and our chest. Silly, huh? So off we go. We took off and we rode over the bridge. We rode all through that area where the bars were, the nightclubs, rode all through there all night long. Never had any trouble. Nobody said a word to us, and people were everywhere. We had a blast. Then we decided, okay, we better be heading back because, it's getting very late. So we head back, got right at the top of the bridge, and here comes a police car. Lights on and everything. Boys, pull it over. We're like, oh no. He gets out of the car, he says, what in the world are you boys doing out here at 3 in the morning? So without hesitation, we basically came up with a lie together without even rehearsing it. 3 o'clock in the morning? Seriously, officer? We was thinking it was more or less along the lines of about 7 or 8 in the morning. And the police officer says, you think I'm some kind of idiot? Or are you serious? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. He opens up his trunk, had us put our bikes in the trunk, and Commenced to put a handcuff on each one of us and put us in the back seat. You boys under arrest. Yeah. Okay, he says, where you boys live? And I said, about 2 or 3 blocks down that way. What's your names? My name's Mike. My name's Steve. Never asked for our last names. Never asked for the address. He took his good old sweet-natured time on the way to the police station saying, oh boy, I hate to see young kids like you go down like this. But you know, rules are rules, and I'm taking you to the police station. And we're back there trying to beg, come on, please, officer, we'll never do it again. Please, 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 please. Sorry, that ain't gonna do no good. And he pulls into the police station parking lot. He opens his door, lets us out of the back door, and grabs my arm and is taking us into the police station. And right before we enter the door, he stops. And he looks back at us and says, you boys learn your lesson yet? Yes, 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 yes. Reaches down and takes the handcuffs off. He helps us get the bikes out of the trunk and says, I want you to go straight home. And tomorrow when your folks wake up, I want you to tell them what you guys did. And if you didn't tell them, I'm going to know. Because the next couple of days, I'm going to get a hold of your folks and make sure you told them what you did. Now get out of here and get straight home. So we're scared to death, but yet feeling very lucky because we got out of it. At least as far as we know we did. Didn't hit us. That police officer never knew our last names. That police officer didn't really know where I lived or where Steve lived. Shoot, we don't have to tell anything to our folks. We just kind of play scarce for the next couple of days. And nobody know. So went home, snuck back in my window, went to bed, woke up about 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe 10. And we heard a knock at the door. Bam, 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 bam. My sister Teresa answered the door. And it was Steve's grandma. Steven! Steven! Steve comes running downstairs. Yes, Grandma, yes. I come down behind him. Grabs him by his ear. Says, you're coming home. You're in trouble. You and Michael was playing Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn all night long. You're in trouble. And then Steve and I looked at each other. How the hell does she know? You gotta remember, the cop didn't know where we lived. Didn't know who we was. And it wasn't the police officer who tipped her off. At least later down the road, she didn't say it was. She says, grandmas always know. And she knew. Somehow she knew. Well, needless to say, Steve wouldn't allow to stay the night with me anymore after that. And he got grounded. And his grandma told my dad, and I got in trouble. So, yeah. We never found out how his grandma knew. It wasn't the police officer that told her. At least we don't think it could have been. But she knew, guys. You ever do something like that when you was kids? Sneak out in the middle of the night and go somewhere? I like to tell you that's the first time I ever did that and it was the last. I'd be lying to you. I've done it lots of times. Oh yeah. Lots and lots of times. Well guys, I'm done walking. I'm only half a mile shy of my normal walks now. I still need new shoes, and they're still killing my feet. But it isn't so much the back of my heels hurting right now. It's the shin splints. Whenever you need new shoes, that's the first thing that happens. When you walk with broken down shoes, you get shin splints. But I'm only a half a mile off, and hopefully next couple weeks I can get my new shoes, and then I start getting back up to speed. But I didn't want to overdo the shin splints today, so there you go. So leave me comments down below, folks. Tell me, you ever played a Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn? Maybe that's why I named this video. If you have, let me know in the comments section. Until next time, come on. Let's get out of here. We'll see you Monday.